In LA this week.
I'm Anna Marcos. A bright spot on the horizon with the 2018 homeless census figures. Even though a record number of people became homeless, even more people were housed and put out of homelessness, bringing those numbers down. More on that coming up.
Around 8,000 kids taking part in beach cleanups across California, and over half of them are here at LA's Dockweiler State Beach. I'm Gil Reyes with more on Kids Ocean Day. I'll tell you more about it next.
How to keep food waste out of landfills. The Department of Public Works has plenty of ideas. It's part of the Food Waste Challenge, coming up. Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. The Greater Los Angeles Homeless Count has released its latest figures, and while they provide a mixed bag of results, city leaders have reason to celebrate. They say the numbers show their efforts to house the homeless are working. Anna Marcos has more.
For the first time in 9 years, we finally have some good news.
City leaders are drawing hope from the 2018 Greater Los Angeles Homeless Count, and they're celebrating the numbers in the shadow of the Path Metro Villa Apartments, one of their own supportive housing projects. Yes, more people became homeless in the past year, but thanks in part to Props H and HHH, which are funding projects like this, more people were also housed than ever before. The end result, fewer homeless people in LA County, down to 53,000 from over 55,000 the year before.
We kept seeing this level of people going into homelessness while we had this many solutions, and then this many solutions, then this many solutions. This is the year finally we've crested above with more solutions than challenges coming onto our street, and we need to push that up even further.
We are doing it, and we just need to do it more and do it better.
Homeless advocate and volunteer Gloria Johnson says support, housing, and help do work, even when you come from multi-generational homelessness.
My mom died recently homeless, but I am ending that cycle. My kids have a home and a bed to sleep in, and we are no longer homeless.
Other hopeful stats show that the numbers of homeless vets and those for chronically homeless people are both down. Homeless vets saw their numbers drop by 18%.
We can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we know that the journey to end homelessness is within our ability and within our grasp.
Another important fact to come out of the census is that homelessness is mostly a local issue and not so much the result of new homeless people moving in. In fact, 65% of those surveyed have been living in LA County for more than 20 years.
A set of keys isn't always enough to turn your life around. You need more. It's only the first step.
But city leaders are optimistic they've not only taken that first step, their goal is to take 45,000 such first steps in the next 5 years to house 45,000 homeless people. This as they also work to keep those homeless figures from growing any bigger. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Los Angeles also has a housing shortage of more than 500,000 units for low-income renters. We've recently agreed to tax ourselves to create more homeless housing and services, but local leaders say it's not enough. They want a bigger chunk of the state's budget surplus to battle homelessness too. Gil Reyes explains.
May be hard to believe with so many of our fellow human beings sleeping and dying on the streets, but it's true. California is experiencing a $9 billion budget surplus. Governor Brown wants to reserve most of that cash for emergencies, a so-called rainy day fund.
Well, it's been pouring here for a long time, and this is the moment to tap that fund.
LA Mayor Eric Garcetti joined local leaders at Downtown Women's Center to support Assembly Bill 3171. It would reserve $1.5 billion of that surplus to battle homelessness statewide. Now, if approved, Los Angeles County stands to collect the most of that money for more permanent supportive housing, rental vouchers, also shelters for the unhoused. LA County could collect $600 million extra dollars. That's on top of the billions expected from voter-approved tax increases and other state measures in the works.
Every dollar counts in this crisis. When you have a crisis as dramatic as this, When you have a crisis that's asking from a humanitarian perspective for more support, let's take that opportunity.
But community support for even temporary shelters is split in some areas. While these marchers in Koreatown say yes, others say no because of one site's proximity to schools. The mayor believes in talking through any problems.
The legitimate things people bring up about security, about how long things are going to take, etc. But doing nothing is unacceptable, whether it's here in Skid Row, whether it's in our city's birthplace, whether it's in Koreatown, Lincoln Heights. And we're flexible. I'll always look at places, but what I don't want to do is see things slow down. To me, this is the moment we must act. And the longer we take, the more people die on our streets.
I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The state legislature is also working on 2 other homeless funding measures that could appear on the November ballot. The days of the Wild Wild West may soon be over for recreational marijuana shops in LA, in spite of Prop M, which provides a pathway to legal operation. The city attorney is cracking down. Anna Marcos explains.
Business at some recreational marijuana shops may soon go up in smoke. Although voters approved their use in California through Prop M starting this year, the city attorney is going after the illegal operators. Since January, City Attorney Mike Feuer has filed 36 criminal cases against 32 locations, seizing guns, pot, and cash. Feuer has named 149 defendants, and he says you don't want to be on the list of defendants.
The city has online a list. I think there are now 147 locations on that list. If a location is not on that list, I urge residents of our city not to shop there. If people wish to be employed by recreational marijuana locations, again, look at the list.
Among the violations, not paying state and city fees, not getting the required permits, or being located too near a school or park. But the biggest thing that will single out a marijuana shop is the presence of other criminal activity. City leaders are going after those shops first.
We've tried to identify those locations where there's the most significant criminal activity, or where there are nuisances, or it just basically impacts the quality of life for the community members of Los Angeles.
Councilmember Marquise Harris-Dawson has launched his own fight against illegal marijuana operators. About a third of them are in South LA.
In almost every community you go into, or many calls that we get into our office, saying, when is the city going to do something about the inundation with illegal cannabis shops?
There are businesses that are operating lawfully. How unfair is it to them to allow competitors who can undercut them because they're not following the rules? That's not right. It's not what the voters wanted, and it's not fair to those businesses that are playing by the rules.
So the message is out to marijuana shops. Play by the rules or see your business go to pot. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
City leaders say each violation can bring a $1,000 fine and up to 6 months in jail. The city of LA is on a mission to go clean and green, and it's one of its latest projects. The Department of Public Works Bureau of Sanitation reveals the winners of its Food Waste Challenge. Anna Marcos joins us from LA City Hall Farmers Market to show us how the program could help our environment. Anna.
Yana, you are looking at 7 innovative solutions for how to keep food waste out of our landfills. It's all part of the Department of Public Works Food Waste Challenge.
This is a Proyecto Jardín, and we have a compost academy. So we have about 20 people doing the academy, and we're learning how to compost. So with compost, you first start off with the browns, which could be a haystack or any browns that's around your garden or yard. And then you have the greens, which is the rotting veggies that you may have.
Proyecto Jardín is one of 7 local groups that won a hefty $7,500 prize for an innovative food waste idea. Its composting academy teaches people like you and me to compost. It's all part of the LA Sanitation Department of Public Works Food Waste Challenge.
The food, when it goes to our landfill, it decomposes quickly and it creates a lot of greenhouse gases. And so environmentally, we really want to get food out of the landfill.
The Department of Public Works is focused on 3 ways to do that: through composting, food waste prevention, and food rescue. giving food to organizations that help the needy instead of throwing it away. Right now, a third of the food in our country ends up in the waste heap.
We have a crisis of hunger and food insecurity and food access all across the city. So there's no reason we should be throwing food away when people are actually going hungry.
These groups with their innovative ideas just might help make our world a little greener and less wasteful. From food recovery ideas to food recycling programs in the schools to a composting idea with a Japanese twist.
We have our own waste here, and as you collect it, you just add a little bit of this bokashi mixture. It helps in fermenting or breaking down of your food waste into good soil.
There are also plans to start hubs at community gardens and farmers markets where people can drop off their compost. Atwood Farmers Market becomes the first one to do so, and the city wants to help you get started.
LA Sanitation has a compost bin program where we offer $25 compost bins for people that are interested. We want more people composting.
So before you dump those rotten strawberries, say no to greenhouse gases and start composting. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
3 agencies also received grants for their part in planning the Food Waste Challenge. For more information on how to get started composting, call LA Sanitation at 800-773-2489. Well, thousands of LA Unified School kids spent a day at the beach, not to play, but to pick up garbage, mostly left by adults. Gil Reyes shows us what they found.
Lots of bottle caps, and we found like papers and cigarette butts, and I'm just so sad that people throw trash on the beach.
But they do. That's why busloads of children are participating in this massive cleanup.
A sea of children here, about 4,500 kids taking part in Kids Ocean Day here at Dockweiler State Beach. Basically, the nonprofit Malibu Foundation hosted a series of assemblies at schools about the dangers of pollution in our waters. This is a culmination of all those lessons.
How one piece of trash, when it's dropped on the street and it rains, goes down to the beaches and oceans.
Michael Klublock from the Malibu Foundation has visited schools for 25 years to reveal inconvenient truths about pollution and the environment without preaching.
So I said, if you use a paper cup, you're part of cutting down a tree somewhere on the other side of the planet. You're not a bad person. You know, we all do it, but now you're aware. And now you can make a choice.
Straws are a big thing. I haven't been using straws lately.
Emmett Kleiger avoids straws because straws are made of plastic. 8 million metric tons of plastic wind up in our oceans each year, threatening marine life. Emmett entered a citywide children's poetry contest about ocean conservation and won.
Roses are red, oceans are blue, but that can't happen without the help of you. The ocean has trash, but that can be fixed. You really should be mindful of it. With all said and done, the fight to clean trash has just begun.
LA City Public Works invites you to join the cause.
Participate in community cleanups, participate in anything that has to do to keep the sidewalks and the street clean.
Because a lot of that waste ends up here. From Dockweiler State Beach, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
8,000 kids took part in Ocean Day cleanup statewide. More than half of those children were at LA's cleanup at Dockweiler. A big boost for the environment as LA voters approved Prop 68, giving a big thumbs up to a cleaner, greener future. Anna Marco shows us what Prop 68 is all about.
Make some noise if you like clean water. Make some noise if you want to beat the drought. And make some noise if you like green spaces.
Angelenos, along with Californians all over the state, can now make all those green dreams come true after they passed Proposition 68 in the June primary elections. Both Mayor Eric Garcetti and environmentalists also big supporters of the measure.
The benefits of parks cannot be overstated. We know that trees act as giant air filters.
Prop 68, the Parks, Environment, and Water Bond, would provide more than $4 billion to build more parks and more environmental and water projects, as well as help clean up our groundwater.
We want to make sure that through Prop 68, we can prepare for this drought that we are living in and the tougher times ahead by reusing, recycling, and making sure that we have the water we need.
There are thousands of Californians throughout this state who lack access to clean drinking water,
and families in some disadvantaged communities unable to trust their taps.
I shouldn't have to choose between affordable housing and a safe street for my kids to play on, and green space for them to meet their friends and hang out, and clean water.
And Prop 68 could have another positive effect, creating more environmental jobs, such as those provided by the LA Conservation Corps for at-risk youth like David Soto.
Prop 68 would directly fuel the work of groups like ours. Wait, I read that part.
A win-win for the environment, local jobs, and our health and well-being. And Angelenos have said a resounding yes. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Governor Jerry Brown, as well as many other environmental and health groups, also supported the proposal. Well, we live in a city with a deep-rooted history, and there's no better place to get a feel for that history than by visiting one of the city's oldest buildings that'll take you back in time, not only with its architecture, but also with its grapevines that are more than a century old. Rasha Goel takes us there.
A walk through history and LA's oldest standing house in the city. It's the 200th anniversary of the Avila Adobe, which is located in the Paseo of Historical Alvera Street, a part of Los Angeles Plaza Historic District. Okay. And did you know?
She's also one of our most visited museums. There's almost 400,000 people that come here every single year.
The Avila Adobe was built in 1818 by Francisco Avila. Throughout the years, the Avila home hasn't changed much from when it was originally built. The Avila Adobe is also famous for its 152-year-old vines.
These grapevines here, we discovered that they are actually the old mission grapes. The mission grapes are the grapes brought up by the Padres in the 1700s when they settled California.
California wine country was not up in Napa. It wasn't up in Northern California. The first California wine country, we're standing in the middle of it right now.
He also says the mission grape is actually a hybrid of two grapes that helps create good wine.
It's an opportunity for people to kind of get a little bit of history, but also indulge in a little bit of good food, good wine, and the opportunity to live the good life a little bit.
The event was a fundraiser for the El Pueblo Park Association, which helps preserve the precious landmarks of Los Angeles. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
There were attempts to demolish the property, but it was eventually deemed a historic site. So you think smelly garbage and old recycled gadgets can't draw a crowd? Well, think again. The LA Department of Sanitation's yearly open house drew about 1,000 people or more to some of its sites. Anna Marcos has more.
These guys are serious about getting the word out that Angelenos get free bulky item recycling. Well, not too serious. Sanitation is the name of the game here. The LA Department of Sanitation is holding this open house at each of its 6 sanitation yards throughout the city to teach residents about all the things it does for the public. And yes, smelly garbage and recycling are among them.
Well, that we learned that we can recycle more garbage and do less garbage instead of more garbage.
I love the fact that you take the old garbage truck cans that are damaged and recycle them into doormats and other items.
It's a super family-friendly event and really seems to draw in the little kids with its big trucks.
So he just wanted to come and do all the garbage trucks and honk the horns and move the bucket up and down.
My brother, his favorite thing, my brother's thing, he just loved the garbage trucks, and I don't know why.
Our son is absolutely mesmerized by garbage trash, trash trucks, anything that has to do with recycling.
It's Disneyland for kids out here. They get to demo the trucks. We have satellite trucks they ride in. We have free trees. We give away 100 trees. Kids get to plant plants, tomato plants, pepper plants, strawberry plants, take them home.
Yep. Free plants, free trees, free mulch, and of course, free recycling and free bulky item pickup. That's on top of the usual garbage collection and water reclamation that any sanitation department does. Oh, and yeah, free hot dogs too. Who would have thought garbage collection could be this much fun? I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
There are also plenty of games, activities, and prizes for both big and small kids. Well, boat tours through LA Harbor can cost you and the family $40 per ticket, but not on this day. Gil Reyes reports on why the Port of LA was ferrying people at no cost from Wilmington and San Pedro.
All aboard. For one day out of the year, the Port of LA offers free boat tours through LA's massive port complex. And not just for nature lovers. Whoa, did you see that?
They get an exclusive view from the water of all of the operations going on here in our harbor. A lot of these people, you know, they're locals or they've never even been to San Pedro or Wilmington, and they have all of this industry happening right in their backyard, but they don't know anything about it.
The one-hour excursions taking off from Wilmington and San Pedro coincided with World Trade Week, highlighting the benefits of global commerce. And what better way to recognize than at the ports of LA and Long Beach? 40% of our nation's imports pass through here.
A lot to take in.
Passenger Marcia Gamboa also got to see a different view of the USS Iowa, San Pedro's resident World War II-era battleship. There's the Vincent Thomas Bridge, the Los Angeles Lighthouse, cranes, and so many other familiar sights.
We're just seeing how they're reconstructing, like they're remaking the whole Portsmouth, you know, so it's kind of like new or different to see how what we're used to seeing is not there anymore.
It feels nice. The wind feels good.
Whoa, what's going on
now? They turn so fast.
I think we hit a wave.
Nothing but smooth sailing after that. From LA Harbor, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The company Harbor Breeze offers boat tours throughout the summer vacation season. You'll have to pay for these excursions, though. Find out more at toseawhales.com. A new chief of police gets ready to take the reins at the LAPD. A couple of streets near elementary schools in Boyle Heights are about to get a lot safer, and recognizing the works of the city's Public Works Department. All these stories in Citybeat. Incoming Chief of Police Michael Moore says he's looking forward to continue the work of building trust between the LAPD and the communities it serves by supporting and listening to community and police department members and working to reinvigorate the department to make it the best it could be. In addition to building trust among communities, his other top priorities include public safety and building a more diverse organization.
I am certain the safety of Los Angeles will be improved. The trust in our men and women will be improved. The confidence of our people will increase. And we will be that bright, shiny city up on the hill that every Angelino so much wants us to be.
Councilmember Jose Huizar joined Breed Street and Sheridan Street elementary students, parents, faculty, and other city officials to break ground on $5 million in safe routes to school improvements in Boyle Heights. From 2011 to 2015, there were 44 collision-related injuries, including 2 fatalities along Soto Street near the 2 schools. The planned improvements will create a network of neighborhood-friendly streets to improve the safety of people and students walking and bicycling in the neighborhood.
We're hoping to put out some bump outs, some more speed humps, some more street lights, those safety things that will help calm traffic and make pedestrians more visible and make it safer for our kids to get to school.
The City of Los Angeles Department of Public Works recently celebrated National Public Works Week, which recognizes and highlights the important work done by thousands of public works professionals. The theme this year was The Power of Public Works. An exhibit was on display at City Hall that showcased the city's completed street repair projects from each council district. One LA resident said she has noticed the improvements to city streets.
I saw that there were some landscaped and greenery areas, making it safer for trees to grow, as well as improving accessibility and just the ability to walk.
An exhibit honoring Asian American women in LA provided the backdrop as Asian Pacific American Heritage Month held its closing ceremonies. And there was a surprise musical artist as well. Anna Marcos takes us there.
The musical artist Milk got the party going at the closing ceremonies for Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. She was one of the women honored.
Then we have our very own Milk,
one of our performers at this year's Identity LA, who literally wrote the theme for the Women's March.
This was a chance for lots of selfies with and without the honorees at this exhibit in the Bridge Gallery at City Hall. The exhibit honoring 14 Asian American women from all walks of life. LAPD chopper pilots, artists, musicians, civil rights attorneys, activists, and more. All women serving as role models and fighting for the rights of people in their communities.
For the past month, they have literally and figuratively been the bridge between cultures, perceptions, and our future.
The event aimed to help spread the message of diversity in our community, especially for a group that is rarely highlighted.
Ladies, it's because of you and what you've been able to do with your careers that little girls around our city are going to be able to grow up and see themselves in one of you.
The Asian Pacific Islander population is the fastest growing ethnic population in the state and in the nation. We now have more API legislative representation in the state than ever before.
Well, you know, our community benefits from a rich cultural diversity. And so it's exciting that we celebrate the Asian diaspora in music, in food, in the arts. It's just a great way to celebrate. And again, recognize that we are all one.
Wait, back up a minute. Yes, let's have a look at some of that food. Dim sum, anyone? Or a little milk is good too. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Jump into summer by jumping into a canoe at the LA River, make a splash at the Hansen Dam swim lake and pool, and it's all about vegan vibes at this downtown LA event. All this in this week's Things to Do. This summer, enjoy plenty of water activities right here in the city. The Los Angeles River recreation zones in the Elysian Valley and the Sepulveda Basin are open for their 6th season. Activities such as kayaking, canoeing, fishing, and birdwatching will all be open to the public from sunrise to sunset through September 30th. Visit lariverrecreation.org to find out about river conditions, weather, and closure information. Pool activities have begun in Lakeview Terrace. From June 9th to September 3rd, the swim lake will be open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. 7 days a week. Following Labor Day on September 3rd, the swim lake will be open only on the weekends through September 30th. The swim lake features 2 water slides, a sand volleyball court, grass picnic areas, and cabana rentals. For more, call the Aquatic Center at 818-899-3779. It's the Vegan Playground, the festival uniting lovers of food, music, art, ideas, and good vibes. Experience the magic and energy of a community connecting with one another in a celebration of life and all things that make humanity beautiful. It all takes place Saturday, June 16th from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Pershing Square in downtown LA. And that's a look at some things to do. That's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.